Hello everyone, Apex here, current developer of the upcoming Wild West role-playing game Frontier. In my last video I went over the physical layout of the world of Frontier. In this video we will go over the scripts, the systems that are in place in this game. So starting off, we'll talk about the music system. Unfortunately I won't be playing any of it. I don't want to risk a copyright strike on YouTube, you know, how they've been. But I will go through how it works. If I can... Okay, so in starter script here, we have the music player local script. And what this will do is it will generate a number between 1 and 2, as there are currently only 2 music tracks to be played. And it will pick one of those and play it. That's pretty much it. And it will do that locally for each player. So each player will hear a different track, or one of the 2. And that pretty much wraps up the music system. It's very basic. And now after that we have the mute button here. You will be allowed to mute the music. I come across way too many games that have this loud, overbearing music that don't allow you to shut it off without muting the entire game, which I'm not a fan of. So currently it's good old Vault Boy from the Fallout series, as I haven't made any image files for it yet, so you know, debug graphics, am I right? So just clicking that will mute the track. Okay, now I want to move on to the weather script. Currently this is a big work in progress because I am trying to work out how to use remote events. It's essentially what this whole game is, really, is a way for me to learn how to do things by actually going out and trying to implement them into a real game, a real product. So what this essentially will do is every 10 seconds, for now, it will be a lot longer than this in the real final release. I'm just using it a short amount so I can test where it's working. Basically every 10 seconds it will pick a random number between 1 and 2. Again, these chances will be increased, decreased in the final product. This is just for me to test if systems are working. So it will, as we only have 2 weather states right now, clear and a sandstorm, there is only 2 numbers to be generated. If it picks 1, the weather will either clear up or stay cleared, basically resetting the fog, the skybox, all of that to basically their default settings. If the number picks 2, then a sandstorm will be created, in which the ambience sound will be changed to one of heavy wind, that sort of storm feeling, if you will. It will create a new sandbox to because the problem with the fog is it does not affect the sky, so you need to create a sky that is the same color as the fog to give that truly overwhelming feeling of being in a sandstorm. So that's what we are doing right there. Basically, when you set the fog end to a certain amount, it doesn't sort of gradually move to that amount. It's just done. It's there. Sorry, that was a really weak click. I'm sorry. So what we're doing is basically going through this loop 1,000 times, minusing 1 from the current fog end, which is 1,100. So it will end up with a fog end of 100, which is close to feel sort of stormy, but not too close as to feel like you don't know where the hell you're going. We also have this line here where the text transparency of a certain GUI will become less transparent to follow the oncoming fog at the same rate. Currently though, that system is not working because it needs to be changed in the player GUI, but as this is a script that runs for everybody, it cannot change stuff locally for the player, so that's where the work with the events come in. So moving on, we have the day-night script. It's very basic. It's essentially getting the minutes after midnight and just adding one to it every 0.01 second. This is an infinite loop, so it will just continue on until the game shuts down. As with the other scripts, this timing is very, very low compared to what it will be in the final release, because I want to see what it's like, how the system works, how the night sky impacts the lighting of the game, and that sort of stuff. But speaking of lighting, we do have a custom color correction applied to this game. If you see disabled, it gives this very higher contrast looking feel to the game, but I have decided to use this filter to give it that sort of old timely look to it. I am open to suggestions whether this is a good idea to go through with or not, so be sure to tell me what you guys think. Okay, moving on, we have this loading script here. Now, this is also something else I'm learning, how to create custom local loading screens, because I personally feel that they can give that very professional feeling towards a game, but again, open to suggestions, whatever you guys would feel would make your experience with this game any better. So please, talk to me. Now, for our next system we will go over will be probably one of the things I've worked on the most, and that is the spawning system with our lovely characters right here. Now, I'm going to play the game to show how this works. Okay, so as you saw a glimpse there before the camera was taken away, the player will spawn off to the side in its own little box as they pick which character they would like to be. Currently these are unnamed. This is still being built, but so far we have these 4 choices and 1 unused, and I will be adding some to you later. But for now, this one here is the bandit choice. So we go ahead and click on that. We will be taken to the bandit hideout, and as you can see, the scripts are a little messed up, as it's put me on the native team. But that's something we can fix later. Okay, so I'm gonna go through exactly what just happened. Okay, so as you saw at the start, the camera is taking away from the player who is spawned in this little container, just so they don't fall to their death. It's just somewhere for them to spawn. So if we go back over here, the camera is then attached to this part right here, and the camera is then aimed at a part called Fate Focus, which is in the dead center of this group of people, and that's pretty much it for the camera side of things. And what we have for each of these characters is a invisible brick that handles click detection. Obviously not for this guy. Each of them also has a point light that is enabled whenever the player mouses over, and all of this is dealt with this master script here. As you can see, a lot is going on here. As you saw earlier, not all of it works properly. And And what basically happens here is whenever a player mouses over this invisible brick, the light will shine on, and whenever the mouse is taken away, the light goes off. And whenever the player clicks, they will be taken to the relevant spawn, placed on the relevant team, and left to go out into the world of Frontier. One of the things that has to occur in order for the player to fully be able to explore this world is to give the camera control back to the player, because as I showed earlier, I think I did anyway, if not I will show it here and go over it one more time. Basically it will set the position of the camera to this part here, and set the focus to that invisible part that's in there somewhere. There we go. And then it will set the field of view to 40 to give that really zoomed in feel. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. After the player has clicked on this invisible click detector, it will be moved to the relevant spawn, and it will copy this local script from replicated first. That will bring the camera subject back to the character, and then set the camera type to custom, which will allow them to rotate, zoom in and out, all that. Field of view 90. I was unsure what the default field of view was, so I just put 90 because that's the default in other games, but I will have to look that up again in the future. So that pretty much does it for the spawning system. I don't believe there's anything else to add, in which case we'll move on to the tools, the weapons that the character will be able to use in this game. For now, they are not placed in starter pack because I was working on a system to give them to the player, but for the purpose of this video, we'll just put them in starter pack and start the game. Okay, we will pick the Lawman. Okay, so we have our gun here. Wait for the unions to load in. As you see, it's going to get pretty dark at night time. We have this custom model, the Colt, as it was based on, looking very generically revolver-y, for lack of a better term. For now, it is using the scripts of the General's Point 44, I believe it's called. Basically just click and the animation will play. So there's really not much to it now, but of course there will be more advanced scripts as the development continues. Now, as I stated in my last video, there is indeed a lantern tool to help you move around in these darker times. It does have a custom particle effect that will trail you, and when you stop, it gives out this very sort of buzzing effect, if you will. Now for our next tool, we have this Cool Horse, which is also very simple. Right now, it plays an animation and a sound, and Bob's your uncle, you have a horse that just teleported in. This horse, does work, but as some of you may have seen, this is a free model for now, just to make sure the systems work and all that. We will be moving on to more advanced systems as development continues. And we have this fourth tool, Run. This won't be in the final release. This is just for testing and get into places quickly. Like, oh, I need to test the cave, but I spawned over there. Okay, we'll just use the Run tool. So that pretty much wraps up the tools of the game, and which also means we've talked about the systems in this game. So that means it does it for the video. I hope you enjoyed this preview into this game, and I hope I will see you in the final release. Alright, thank you for watching.